So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello everyone and welcome to Andy Shed Live. This is series 14, episode number 6 for Sunday the 17th of December 2023. Hello there, welcome to the show if you are just joining us, and welcome back from our little break that we took last week. We just needed a bit of breathing space last week, so we had a little break last week, but we are back now, mad, bad and dangerous to know. So yeah, welcome back. Last week before Christmas. Well, actually, technically, there's next week as well, because it's Christmas Eve for next Sunday. But yeah, the last sort of sensible one before Christmas. And hello to everybody who is in the chat. Just a quick reminder to you all that if you are not aware, if you're watching this on YouTube and think, well, I can't see that chat, there's nobody in this chat on YouTube, that's because they're in the Odyssey chat over on Odyssey, which is a platform that we are also streaming on. Go over to odyssey.com, that's ODYSEE.com, and you should be able to find us there if you search for Andy's Shed. Or the other way you can do it, if you want to watch us live, is get on our website here. It's andyshed.copress.net, and then add /live onto the end of that. andyshed.copress.net/live, and you'll be able to watch us on Odyssey live there, and you'll also be able to take place in the chat. There is a link on there to the pop-out chat as well if you want to watch on YouTube. Go to the website to get the link for the pop-out chat if you want to watch on your smart TV on YouTube, but you want to chat on your mobile phone or something. Go to the website there, andyshed.copress.net/live, and you should find a link there for a pop-out chat. Talking of the chat, who have we got with us today? Just having a little look. We've got Wesley, we've got Christopher 2000, Julie Arkin class, that's Dominic of course. They're all here, and I'm sure there'll be a few more along later in the show. Right, I'm just trying to catch up with some of it. What have people been saying? Dominic says he found an interesting 706L in a local antique store. And Christopher says he's back watching from his new home. Yes, you've moved, haven't you, Christopher? Hope it all went well for you. And also, thank you for the Christmas card. So we had a Christmas card all the way from Australia from Christopher as well, and some photos. So thank you for the Christmas card, Christopher. Magat's here as well. Evening, Magat. By the way, he's been putting stuff on YouTube as well recently. If you want to do a search on his YouTube channel, he's got some very good telephone videos up at the moment. Just have a search for Magat on YouTube. You'll find him, I'm sure. And yeah, he's put up quite a few recently. So yeah. He says he's hoping to get a Northern Electric Uniphone #1. He's put an offer in on it. He says this also has a British dial. He says I'm half Canadian, don't know about the other half. Right, and Thor the dog, as you can also hear, is here with us. What, are you wanting to go outside now that you had your tea? Just a minute then. Hang on, I'll let Thor the dog go outside just a sec. There's some strange clicky noises. I put the headphones down. Do you want to go outside? Eh? Now you've had your tea, you want to go out, don't you? Good boy. Okay. He's gone out for a wander around the backyard. Now he's just had his tea, you see, and he's had a bit of my pizza as well. Christopher says he's just got his phones rewired. Now he's in his new house. That all sounds good. He's got his 1961 N1900 set up to CNET. Excellent. We will be opening the CNET lines a little bit later on. If anybody's on CNET and wants to call us a little bit later, you will be able to. Also, anybody who wants to know more about CNET, they have got a website. I've not got a graphic with it on, unfortunately, but it is ckts.info. You got that? If you want to know more about CNET, their website, nothing to do with me, this website, it's their website, it's ckts.info. Wesley says, what was it about the 706, Dominic, that was different to others? And Dominic's replied, it was an early 706 with a dial 12 and domed feet. Oh, that was a good find then. That was a good find. What colour was it, Dominic? That should be a Diacon case on that if it's got the original case. That should definitely be a Diacon case on that if it's not been recased at some point over the years. Dominic says, not sure if the 706 is genuine as it has a 3D chevrons, so I didn't buy it in the end. It probably was genuine, but those 3D chevrons had perhaps been changed in the dial. Might have been redialed with a different dial, or it may have been a phone that was not on the GPO network. It may have been a private one, privately supplied by somebody like Telephone Rentals. That would stack up. Dominic says it did look very shiny, so perhaps it was Diacon and had a metal handle. Right, if it had a metal handle, that is definitely pointing towards it not being a GPO one. So I think it probably was genuine. I think it was probably rarer than you think because it wasn't a GPO one. So you possibly shouldn't bought it. It says, I've sent Andy a photo of it, which hopefully shows the shininess. Right, Thor's back, as you can tell from the barking. Hello, what can we do for you? Yes? What's up? What are you telling me? Dominic said, have you seen my email about the 706, Andy? No, I haven't yet, Dominic. I'm going to rummage through my emails in just a second. I'm just going to shut the door because it's rather cold here and Thor's just opened it. Just wait with me 1 second. Come in, you. Come on. Come on, Thor. Let's have you in there then. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, you're in now. You're in now. Yeah, good dog. Good dog. Feel cold and a bit damp, Thor. Is it raining? Yes. Is it raining, Mr. Thor? I've just turned the radiator up as well while I was doing that. Right, here I am. Right, we will have a little look. What, Thor? What are you barking at? Eh? What are you barking at? No, 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 no. What does it say? I've got a GPO 706 with a metal handle. Are you sure? Are you sure it was issued by the GPO like that? Because there is, of course, no way of telling. now if it was done like that by the GPO. I always understood the GPO only retrofitted plastic handles later, after they saw how good the metal ones on the Ericsson versions were. But of course I could be wrong. I will stand to be corrected. Right, I'm going to have a look for this email that Dominic sent. Bear with me 1 second, and we'll see if we can find a photo of this phone. Where might it be? We'll have a look. Things are running a bit slow today, it would seem. Oh, that's it. I've got it right. Right, let's see if we can show you this. I found it. Right, where are we? We are there. If I trying to get this picture across now from Dominic. We'll see what we can do. Right, I think I've done it, right. So, here it is. There you go. So that's what Dominic found in the antique shop. I had a fit for a minute because I thought it got £150 price tag on it. But then I realised that was on the chair that it was that it was sat on. But there it is, and it looks kind of okay. But I see why Dominic was suspicious when you see what was sat next to it. And so you see those others have definitely been messed with, haven't they? Without any shadow of a doubt. And what I will say, about these three, because that's a different red phone there, these have definitely been messed around with, because that red 746 there does not, to me, I wouldn't like to swear to it, does not look to me to have the right dial opal in the middle of it. for a 706. And then of course you've got one there with the pink case, and pink cases just didn't exist. They are repro cases, the pink ones. But there is again, how much was it? Does that say £140 on it? Does that really say £140 on it? I see why you left it. Or maybe it says £40. I think it says £40, so it's not as bad. but yeah, for £40 it may have been worth a punt. It has had a non-standard line cord put on it. Let me have another look at the original photo of it as well. Right, I think you did well to leave it alone, Dominic, looking at that, because I'm having a really close look at that picture now that might not be coming out well enough on the stream for other people to see it, but I'm looking for the little metal clips around the dial. I'm looking for the little metal clips between the finger wheel and the inner edge of the dial bezel. If that's original, and that's an original dial bezel that is back painted, there should be 4 little clips holding it on, and I can't see them, so I think that has been recased, or at least has got a new dial bezel on it that is not correct, because I cannot see those little clips there, and you can normally see them on a photo that big. So yeah, I'm a bit suspicious about that, but so yeah, not totally convinced. Thor's given me something. What is it? Ball, eh? Fetch! Woo! Yeah, so I'm not totally convinced by that. I think you probably did well to leave that alone at 40 quid, Dominic, actually, because I have a feeling that's been messed with. Certainly the line cord is not right on it, and I don't think the dial bezel is right on it either. So I think you might have got a bitzer there, from what I can tell. Is it Diacon? A bit hard to tell from that, from the red one. I would say not. The depth of the shine doesn't look deep enough to me for that to be Diacon. Yeah, Dominic's confirmed it was £40, which isn't too bad for a nice example of very early 706, if all genuine. Yeah, but it's not. Whereas it says it's only 8 sleeps to go. Don't remind me. Don't remind me. I'm just catching what everybody's saying in the chat. It says that 706 had 706L PL61 stamped on the back, so either messed with or maybe a private one plucked off the production line. Yes, I'm going with messed with at the minute with that. Messed with by somebody who kind of half knows what they're doing as well, and has really tried to make quite a good fake original phone out of it. But some of those parts were made yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Though the curly cord looks too good to be an original one as well. Christopher says, my new landline doesn't work with pulse dial phones, it says. So I'm using a PBX to get my pulse phones to work on the landline. That's the way I do it, Christopher. You're doing it the same way as me there. Although I think my landline does still theoretically work with pulse dial at the minute. Dominic said, I might be going back to the antique store. Don't buy it, Dominic. It's been messed with. Wesley says he thinks it's ABS, and I'm going to go with Wesley on that one. I think it's ABS as well. Wesley says I had a red 706 and it looked almost like glass. Yeah, they do. They do. As you know, Wesley, in fact, as most of you probably know, but for anybody who doesn't, the early ones that were made out of Diacon, there is kind of a depth of shine to the Diacon that the ABS simply doesn't have. It's really difficult to explain unless you've seen one. But when you've seen one, it's definitely different. There is a kind of depth of shine, like when you see a really well polished custom car or classic car, you know, that's had loads and loads of wax polish applied to it over the years. There's a kind of depth to the shine, there's a kind of depth to the paint job, and Diacon has that, but ABS doesn't. Yeah, I'm thinking that somebody's polished it up, but I'm thinking it is ABS, that, because it doesn't seem to have that depth to the shine. It is a bit hard to tell from a photo, but it just doesn't look quite right to me. Christopher says, did you get my email about a signal post phone? I've not seen it, Christopher, but I've not really checked much of my emails for the last couple of days, because I've been off my feet for a couple of days, and a bit of a gammy leg for a couple of days, which is not great now, but I'm hoping it's going to get better. Well, it says the Diacon phones usually have a quite chunky handset cord. That is true as well. If it's the original handset cord on an early Diacon phone, it's thicker. Yeah, I mean, as Wesley says, it's okay as an old functional phone, but it is not original, and that dial bezel, I think, was made yesterday. Yeah, they really offend me, those dial bezels. Had they made them to the original spec, I'd say, yeah, it's okay, it's a reproduction part, but it's not, because they never made them like that. So I do away with those dial bezels. Where if ever I get anything one of those new dial bezels with the stuff printed on the surface, I do away with them. Chris says, I have an all original Diacon N1900 in yellow, and that's got a dial 12. Yeah, that's N1900s tended to have dial 12s fitted a lot later. I think Ericsson had a big batch of dial 12s that they'd not used, basically. I think they were using up old stock, because well into the 60s Ericsson was fitting dial 12s to things. But yellow, I still maintain yellow is probably the rarest colour. I've not seen an N1900 in yellow. Most of the N1900s you see are either grey or black or sometimes ivory. Occasionally a green one pops up. Occasionally a red one pops up. I don't think I've ever seen a yellow one in person. So that's an unusual one that you've got there. Right, talking of unusual, I've had a little arrival in the post this week. You'll like this. Alright, can I get it on the other camera? Can I show it to you on this other camera? Yes, I can. Here's my arrival. There you go. Look at those. Now, these are a GPO tool. I'm not sure what they're meant for, but I know what I'm using them for. And maybe what I'm using them for is what they were originally meant for, or perhaps they were meant to be used in an exchange. So it's a pair of pliers with a sort of bent end on them, and a flat piece, as you can see there, that opens. Really high quality, really precision thing. And what I use them for, and this may be the original tool for this job, because I'm told there was a tool for this job that I'm going to show you now, but I've never actually seen the tool for it. What I'm using them for is when you get a dial like this. Now I know this is a modern horrible plasticky dial, and you want to adjust the little weights in the governor here, right? This grabs hold of them nicely, and you can tweak them quite well with this. Really well, in fact. Now, previously I've just sort of stuck a screwdriver in there and hoped for the best, tried to bend them. But this gives you much more control. So these will be going in the extremely useful telephone toolbox. But I've never seen them before. I think these are probably originally meant for something in an exchange, for getting into the selector banks in an exchange or something. I don't know. Somebody will tell us what these originally were meant for, but they do certainly work for adjusting the throw of the governors inside a dial. So that's the thing that we've found this week, which is rather good actually. Right, I can make that disappear. Yeah, so it's to adjust spring tension. What it says for exchange staff on selectors, I'd say. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it certainly works what I'm going to use it for. But I've never seen a pair of pliers quite like that before. So yeah, weren't cheap. They cost me a tenner with the postage on. What it says, is there any allotment news, Andy? There is a little bit of allotment news, Wesley. Yeah, we've got 2 apple trees. I managed to obtain 2 bare root apple trees. Not managed to actually get them in the ground yet, though, because the weather's been so bad. So they're sat in a bucket of water at the minute in the greenhouse. But yes, not much more has happened, because I've had problems. I've had problems with I've had leg issues. Well, I've always had for 2 or 3 years. I've had one leg that swells up at the bottom, between my knee and my ankle, sort of thing, and it does it occasionally and that, but it's done it more over the last 2 or 3 days, let's say. So I'm just trying to get that sorted out at the minute. So it's meant I've not been very active for the last couple of days. That's probably the reason. I probably need to be more active to sort of shake it off, sort of thing. But yeah, we'll let you know what's going on with the allotment very, very soon. Christopher says, I've just sent some photos of my Diacon in 1900. Have you? Right, we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Just got to remember I can do it again now. Where is it? Thunderbird. Not Thunderbirds, Thunderbird, the email system. Right, so here we are. Here's Christopher's yellow phone then, and that is Diacon, because it does say 12 in the cap sort of thing. In there, you see, there's a number 12 in there. That's what you're looking for to see if it's Diacon or not. It doesn't look very shiny for Diacon though, this one, and it's got the early rubber feet as well. But it might not necessarily be that early, because Ericsson did. I think they used old parts basically on the phones they were making for private customers. See, although that says that was made in 1961, no guarantee it was actually assembled into a phone in 1961. Although it might have been. It might have been. And it's even got the thing, looks like the original junction box on it there as well. Note a non-GPO, non-telecom one. But yeah, see, that looks right. And again, for 1961, would it have had those 3D arrows, chevrons, whatever you want to call them, in 1961? And that one looks right, because you can see that see on the dial bezel how the paint is fading and it's going white. But I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor or not, folks, but can you see just there, and also just there, there's a little notch in the inner rim of the dial bezel, and that's where the little metal things come through that kind of hold it like that against the case. So that one looks spot on to me, but strangely unshiny for Diacon. Unless it's just the way the lights on it, because in photos things often don't look how they look in reality. That's just one of the things about it. Right, okay, so yeah, that is that. So yeah, and Christopher also mentioned a signal post telephone that he's got as well. The pictures are too big to get on my screen, but here it is. This is this signal post phone. Of course, these were around in the UK as well. Found these at the side of motorways to call the AA and things like that. surprisingly hard to come by now, made by Plessy. Yeah, quite difficult to come by now. I'd like one of these and to be able to put it up the garden. You know, stick it to the garden wall or something. Because they are weatherproof. The cases that they're in make them weatherproof. But yeah, surprisingly hard to come by those now. Surprisingly hard to find. Having said that, now 10 will turn up this next week, won't they? Probably. Yeah, so that's Christopher's phone there as well. So we've had one or two things arrive with various people that over the last week or so. I wonder if any of you will be getting anything telephone related for Christmas. I've not got anything telephone related for Christmas, not yet anyway. But I did go yesterday and picked up 4 Tilly lamps. Added to the fleet of Tilly lamps here. Yeah. X246B Mark 1s, 3 of them, and X246B Mark 2 is the other one. For any Tilly aficionados out there. Right. What I was going to do today, before all this sort of kicked off and got going, I was going to have a little look at trim phones and things, because the other week, a couple of weeks ago, I remember I got a haul of phones, and I showed you the first half of it a couple of weeks ago, and this was it. This was in that haul of phones that I showed you a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned that you can turn off the ringer on a trim phone by taking out a screw, and so this that you can set to loud and medium and soft here like this. I did mention that you can actually make it so you can set it to off as well. So it's got soft there. Is it soft there? Soft, yeah. And then that's medium, and then loud. And it doesn't go any further that way, and it doesn't go any further that way. So it's stuck, but there is a thing you can do. So I'm going to plug this trim in, and we'll then have a little listen to it. So it's here now, set to soft. So this is the quietest you can make it. Medium and loud. And that's soft again. Well, if you had that on your bedside table or something, you wouldn't want it making that din at night, would you? In the middle of the night when somebody from some Indian call centre wants to ring you up and talk to you about life insurance. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can silence it. So what you do, and some of you will know this trick already, I'm sure, but bear with me if you do, is you take the screw out the top there, lift at the back and move it forward at the front, because there's 2 like hooky bits here that hook under the front edge of the chassis. This one's particularly tricky because it's got the extra button switch, whatever you want to call it as well. which is quite rare on a trim phone. But then, if we now look in here somewhere, we can just lift the dial out like that. Then you've got this circuit board, you see. And I think, is it that screw? If I remembered that right. If you... We'll find out in a minute. In fact, what I'll do... Let's just see if it is that screw. You don't have to screw it all the way out necessarily. There you go. Now you can turn it to the off position. So I'm not taking that screw all the way out, it's still there. But now, I don't know if you can see, there is an off position there. So it goes, now goes loud, medium, soft and off. And I'll prove it, I'll ring it again. Loud, medium, soft, and you can see this wiper going round here, look, against these three contacts here. Well, when you go to the off position, there you go, you see, and that phone is still ringing, and the way you know it's still ringing is when you turn the ringer back on. There you have it. Now can I put that screw back in a bit more, just so we don't lose it. Right, so that's holding it there now. So I've put it down a bit too far, that there. There you go. So that's how you silence a trim phone, or make it possible to silence a trim phone. There is a hidden ringer off setting that they didn't used to like you knowing about, but it is there, so you can use it. Right. This, something a bit odd seems to have gone on here, because this cord should be capable of fitting in there. Right, I can now put the dial back in, and those feet hook under this circuit board here. Then the other feet just tuck in the front like that. Then hopefully I can put the top back on without too much hassle. Like that. So there we go. One silenced trim phone. So let's give it another try. There we go, it's off. Turn it back on again. And if I then pick it up, yeah, we can talk on it. How cool is that? So there's the trim phone. I know this looks green. This is technically a blue trim phone, two-tone blue. Technically, this is what ABS yellowing does to things over years. But people say, I heard there used to be a blue version of a trim phone, I can only find green ones. Well, that's because this, what looks like a green one, is actually a blue one. That's why you can't find a blue one. But again, they did them in this dirty sort of Concordy blue, like they did the 706 and the 746s in, at least the handset is. It would have been nice if they'd done it in a bright blue, I think. I don't know why they used to use this dirty blue colour. It seems to have been an ongoing thing with them, that they liked doing it. That peculiar colour. They liked sort of dirty colours and that. They didn't seem to do bright colours. They were all sort of weirdly muted and things. But I just thought I'd show you that, how to keep a trim phone quiet. What are people up to in the chat? Well, it says it looks blue to me. Does it? It looks green to me here in the real light here. Right, what have people been saying in the chat? Oh, they're asking Christopher, what's the Disney-related box? So it looks like a small lunchbox, Christopher says. It's got my USB in it. Wesley says, I've just ordered a tin of Quality Streets. That's the only tin that I've ordered. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Tin of Quality Street. I'll tell you a festive story about Quality Streets. My dad, who is no longer with us now, he's been dead about 3 or 4 years. He always used to receive from my aunt every Christmas. He used to receive one of those round tins of Quality Street. You know what they do at Christmas, those big round tins. And he used to get one of those every Christmas. Well, he actually used to get it on Boxing Day, because we used to go and see her on Boxing Day. And he got it every Christmas, and the visit would go something like this. We'd go and see my aunt, we'd go into her front room, we'd all sit down and maybe have a drink or something. She'd disappear off upstairs. 5 minutes later she'd reappear with a handful of presents, dishing them out. And there was always this round present, and it always ended up with my dad. And for 30 odd years she gave him this tin of Quality Street, totally unaware he hated them. He absolutely hated these Quality Streets, but he got them every year, and every year of course we had to eat them. because he wouldn't touch them. He really did not like the quality streets. Don't know why, but he didn't like quality streets. So one year she came down the stairs and she got a handful of presents, and it's become a kind of secret joke between me and my mum by then, that he was going to get presented with yet another tin of quality streets, and we're looking in a handful of presents for the tin of quality streets, but there is no round tin of quality streets, and instead my dad got a very strange sort of octagonal sort of present, and his face lit up and he thought, at last I'm rid of the quality streets. Tore the wrapper off, and what had happened? They changed the shape of the tin. And to this day, quality street tins are sort of octagonal. But yeah, so he's still got quality streets. To his dying day, he got quality streets for Christmas. But it's one of the things I always think about when anybody mentions quality streets to me. I mean, I wasn't complaining. I like quality streets. I used to end up eating them. Christopher says, I was not happy when I moved house a little while back, he says, because my blue trim phone got broken. What bit got broken, Christopher? The base. The base. I'm thinking, have I got some trim foam bases somewhere? I got a load of trim foam bits some time ago. Did I get any bases? I don't know. I'll have a look, Christopher. I'll let you know if I got a base anyway. Word says, I've probably got a base plate here. How much do you pay to get stuff sent from here to you? Dominic says, did the GPO ever give you the option to have the off position on extension phones? I don't know. As it says, it was when they were hardwired, so you didn't take the tone caller out of circuit. It says no issue with slugging pockets, being of course plug-in sockets. Christopher says, I'm going to repair the base plate to keep the phone original. Are you going to get the acetone out, Christopher, and see if you can acetone weld it back together? Should be possible, that, 'cause it should be ABS. Should be relatively easy if it's cracked in a sensible way. If it's cracked part way through and you are going to acetone weld it, my tip is it might be worth fully breaking it to kind of release the stress in the rest of the plastic. So if it's kind of cracked halfway, if you fully break it off and then redo it, the repair will take better. Where it says, on plan 4, the jack connected bell circuit back in series when the jack was removed. Oh, that's interesting, didn't know that. Dominic says, the tins for Quality Streets used to be made in Mansfield. Same for roses. Did they really? I didn't know that either. What it says, a chocolate chrome for Roundtrees used to be made here. Wow. What's not to like about Quality Street? I totally agree, Wesley. I used to like the long, thin, toffee coated in chocolate ones that are in like a gold wrapper. Quality Street have gone manky now though, because they're in plastic. They're in paper wrappers now, and they just look pants. They don't look anywhere near as Christmassy. You know, you used to open your Quality Street, and they were all sparkly in the thing. They're not now, because they're all in paper wrappers. They look horrible. Cool. Very good. Right. Okay. So that's about that then, isn't it? Yeah. Right. We will briefly open the phone lines for anybody who wants to call in. Bear with me a second while I do it, because it does take a little bit of actual technical jiggery pokery. Does this? Come on. How do you do it? I think that's it. Right. Has it connected me? Is it doing what it should be doing? I believe it might be. So there you go, we are now connected up if anybody does want to ring in, got any questions or anything. Remember, you've got to be on CNET to do this, it doesn't work on an ordinary telephone line. 024687201 is the number, and we are there. Right, while that is rolling, and it actually misses the bottom of the chat on the screen there. That's more by luck than judgment. Hello, I knew Christopher would do this. I just knew he would. Just bear with me a sec and I'll answer it, Christopher. Now, how do I do it on here? I've got to put him up on here, haven't I? And then I believe I can do that. Hello, Christopher. Hello. I can't hear him. He's not there. Hello. Can anybody else hear him? Hello, Christopher. No, he's not there. Oh, here it is. Try again. Right, hang on. Hello, Christopher. Hello? No, I still can't hear him. Why can I not hear him? Can anybody else hear him? Just let me know in the chat if you can hear him. Because I can't for some reason. Right, he's ringing me on another phone now. Right, let's see if we can hear him on that. Hang on a minute. Just bear with me a sec. Hello? Hello? Can't hear you, Christopher. You're on mute, mate. Or something. Something not right at your end. Can't hear you at all. What are you calling from? If it's your computer, it's probably your microphone device that you've got set to the wrong device. Right, I'm hanging up while you sort it out. Oh, suddenly got a strange tone. It's suddenly got a strange tone. Right, no, I couldn't hear him on that either, so it's definitely at his end. Right, let's try it again. Hello?
Oh, no, Handy.
Michael, how the devil are you?
Okay, am I coming through okay?
You're a bit quiet at the minute, just bear with me a sec. Right, try that now, Michael.
Is it okay? No? Any better at all?
You're fairly quiet. I think you need to up your volume at your end on your whatever device it is that you're using. Or can I do it at this end? Let me have a look if I can do it at this end.
A mobile phone app, Joyphone. Anyway, I just wanted to say, if you can hear me, I'm going to speak louder. It's I know I haven't contributed much on the stream in the last couple of months, but I've always been there looking at you, mate. I reckon you're a great guy, you know. So I want to record. I can't get the words out. I want to read another favourite book of mine, if you don't mind, if you can hear me.
So say that last bit again, Michael. You're very, very quiet.
Okay, so like I said, I love your live stream, Andy. So I'm gonna speak louder.
Brilliant.
I want to recite this page of a book that I love very, very much. And I want you to tell me what the title is. It was
right,
a boy.
Go on, fire away.
Okay, sorry, Andy, thank you. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast, never to escape the vital wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansion, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of British dust from entering along with it. Any ideas?
Right. It rings a bell from somewhere. I think I may have read that at school or something many years ago.
Yeah. I'll do another small passage and then we'll talk about the author. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of the coloured poster, two large indoor display had been tacked to the wall and depicted simply an enormous face, more than a metre wide, the face of a man of about 45 with a heavy black moustache and rugged, handsome features. Winston made for the stairs.
Yeah. Everybody's agreeing with what I thought it was, which nobody will believe now, of course. 1984, it's George Orwell, isn't it?
1984, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Winston Smith and Big Brother, the inspiration from my old telly show. Big Brother is watching you and all that. Yeah. And there was a film of 1984 as well, wasn't there? I've not imagined that. They made a film of 1984.
It made into an absolutely ghastly movie. By that I mean wonderful, with John Hurt.
Yeah.
At the year of the actual year, with and what was the other guy in it? Richard Burton.
Yeah, Richard Burton. Richard Burton was the other guy. Yeah.
And do you remember that scene when Winston Smith, John Hurt, is like, he's been absolutely racked to death almost, and it's like his teeth is hanging out, and he's like crying like this, and the screen.
I can't remember much about it at all because it's such a long time ago. It was what it was actually 1984, like you say, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was a 3-year-old at that time. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. And
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good Christmas.
Third the stream. Thank you very much. And you have a very happy Christmas, sir. Have a very happy Christmas, mate.
And you, and we'll be back live on Christmas Eve as well.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I will always be tuning in.
We'll see you soon. All right. See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. That was Michael there. So we could just about make out what he was saying. He sounded very quiet to me, though. I don't know about anybody else. It didn't seem as loud as it might have been. Oh, hang on. Built in. Right, have I suddenly got very loud? Have I got loud? No? Input volume, output volume. Right, okay. Right, we'll see. Yeah, I'm in trouble with the sound levels on it, but we'll sort it. Right, so sorry I can't join in this as I'm a thicko and can't set seeing it up at my end. But I have to figure that out, Miguel. I don't know. What I don't know is if we can set up an ATA here and post it to you, and then you can just plug it in and it would work. I don't know if that would work or not. I would need to find that one out. But I have heard of people doing that before. People having an ATA set up, then having it posted out to them, and then just plug it in and it works. But I just can't remember if that works or not. Just off the top of my head. Wesley says the main audio is fine. Right, so I'm alright, it's just them that's quiet. Chris says he's just resetting his ATA, and then it'll give it another go. That's it. Give it a reset, Christopher, and we'll see what happens. Right, okay. Right, while Christopher reboots and that, I will tell you that we are indeed going to be live on Christmas Eve. It's become a bit of a tradition now, hasn't it, that we're on Christmas Eve. So yes, we will be live on Christmas Eve, but it will be earlier. I don't know exactly yet, but I think it'll be around about 2 p.m. on Christmas Eve, around about 2 p.m. on Christmas Eve. We will be on with our Christmas live special, as has become a bit of a thing, and maybe it'll work right this year because they are notorious for going wrong. Those Christmas Eve ones. I think we've had problems with connecting to the stream and that on just about every one that we've done. So we'll give it a go. We will give it a go on Christmas Eve. Just see if we can actually get anywhere with it. Right, what are folks up to in the chat? Just having a look through. Chris says I'll be 5 minutes. Wesley says sack the sound engineer. Yeah, it's like you know something. I get really annoyed when when you get bad sound on things. It really winds me up, and then it happens to me. The problem is it's digital. You see, if it was all analog, like at the radio station, if it was a nice analog board, like at the radio station, not just things to click on a computer, I'd be fine. Dominic says, wasn't there supposed to be one on the LD and ECR tunnel, but the stream didn't work? No, there was supposed to be one on the LD and ECR tunnel, but the weather was so bad, we had to go on a footpath across a ploughed field to do it. And the weather was so bad, it was so wet that we just couldn't walk across this field. So we ended up doing it somewhere else. But yes, we could do that as a live on Christmas Eve. That might be possible for the Christmas Eve live this year, if it's reasonably dry, or if it's frosty and everything's frozen solid. That would be okay as well. But if it's wet, then at this time of year you just can't get to the places we'd like to get to for that one. But yeah, that was a plan one year to do one, and we also did one from the old brickworks as well, and just couldn't get the stream back. We had trouble connecting it, and was it last year we did the one from Snipe Bog? Was it Snipe Bog last year? And that dropped after about 20 minutes because I actually walked out of the signal area. But yeah, I mean, we've got new kit since then. We've got new phones and things and stuff, and this mobile live streaming business is getting better all the time, actually. I mean, when we first tried to do a mobile live stream about 4 or 5 years ago, it was just awful from wherever you tried to do it from. But it is kind of improving all the time. Christopher says, I'm just setting up my ATA. Dominic says, the one at Kilmarsh was quite successful, I think. Yeah, that one went okay. That was the one that was supposed to be on top of the LD and ECR tunnel, and we had to move it to Kilmarsh, because at Kilmarsh it was a kind of gravel path. So that was one that we had to think up at the last minute when we realised we couldn't go where we wanted to go. But yeah, the Kilmarsh one was quite successful. The problem with the Kilmarsh one was there were so many people around, and it was just wall to wall, and it was right in the middle of COVID as well, when you particularly didn't want to go near anybody. There were so many people out on that railway track that day. It was unbelievable, because it was quite a nice sunny day. But yeah, there were so many people about. But yeah, we'll have a go. We'll see if we can do the one from the LD and ECR tunnel, or the top of the tunnel, because what you actually do is the tunnel has been filled in, and what you have to do is walk over the top of it, and you can get to the ventilation shafts and things for it. So we can hopefully perhaps do that. So yes, all good stuff, isn't it? So yeah, that's about the size of what is coming up for Christmas. I've just realised, just found a dial opal and a what's it, and a label, and I'm wondering what it's off. It's not off the trim phone, is it? I put the one back on the trim phone. I think it might be off that 746 there. You remember the very grotty 746 that I had on last weekend? I think it might have come off that last weekend. Yeah, the very dirty 746 that definitely needs a polish. It's definitely not Diacon, it's definitely not shiny. Wesley says, take a look at eBay item 266571677. Says, I think it might be an interesting discussion. Right, do I need to have a look at that then? Alright, let me have a look at it then. I'll have a look. Right. What was the item number again? Yes. That is odd. Not sure quite what, well, I know what it says it is, but I'm not sure quite what it actually is. Right, hang on, we'll have a look at that then. Oh, hang on, wrong button. Right, here we go. Here's the eBay item then that Wesley has just sent the link for. Can I click on it? Yes. It's got 6 days to go. It starts at £30 and it's, well, apparently it's a GEC 43T stroke ATT working. I'm looking at what colour it is. I mean, it's an oddball thing, that is. I'll give you that. Right, there we go, got it a bit bigger now. Can we see it? Yes, we can see it, right. So, there it is. It's very oddball. It kind of looks like a cut-off wall phone, doesn't it? That is very strange. Not seen one of those before. That's a new one on me. That is GEC. Yeah, definitely a new one on me, that. I've not seen one of them before. Obviously something to their own design and specification, that. But it's got a handle built in. Very unusual. Very unusual. Yeah, right. What does everybody out there think of that then? Dominic says, I thought it was from a wall phone case at first, but it can't be. No, it can't. You're dead right. I'm not sure what it is, Dominic. It's mightily bizarre, isn't it? Let's have a look at the photos again. Yeah. It is mightily bizarre, that is. So it's definitely not a wall phone case, it's definitely a desk phone from that, isn't it? Looks like a standard handset, standard dial 21 on it as well. Standard feet. I'm not sure they've got the cords going in the right place. It looks to me like they've fitted the handset cord coming out of underneath, which is probably where the line cord ought to have been, and then the handset cord ought to have come out the back. I would have said, wouldn't you? So I don't really know. But yeah, I think they've fitted those cords the wrong way around. But it's unusual, that is. Somebody buy it. Somebody buy it and let us know what it is when you get it. Dominic says maybe a GEC prototype for the 746. The dial suggests it's not earlier than the mid-60s. Dial suggests it's not earlier than 67, really, doesn't it? Yeah. Dominic also says it looks like it's trying to match the brief for the 746, i.e. cheaper construction, integrated handle, etc. Good point, Dominic. Good point. That is. I'm with you on that. Yeah. But what is it? It's mightily bizarre, that is. If anybody knows what that is, get in touch with us. Either ring us now if you haven't seen it. Where is it? Up there. 024687201. Or remember, you can also get hold of us via the contact us form on the website. handyshed.copress.net is the one to go to there. Yeah. Somebody out there buy it and let us know what it is, because I've got no idea at all what that is. Never seen one before. It's mighty odd, but there are strange prototype things that do appear occasionally, and there's oddball things that are the sort of right colours and have the normal handset, but then the body of the phone is different. I have seen things like that pop up before that are similarly weird. You know, they're sort of recognisable but different sort of thing. So I have seen that happen before. But this was probably something that GEC made. The idea being that they were going to sell it. They probably got away, if they were selling this to their private customers, they probably didn't have to pay some royalties or something, because it's not a GPO design, so they probably got away without some royalties somewhere along the line. But it is certainly a very strange telephone, that. I've not seen one quite like that before. I'm not sure about that silver base on it either. That doesn't look quite right. I don't know. It's odd. It's really odd, isn't it? I can see why it didn't go with it, though. It looks like there's something missing at the front, doesn't it? It's like a car with its front bumper missing. It just doesn't look quite right, that, somehow. Yeah, I can see why they didn't do it. Right. Okay. Again, said I've never seen this. No, me neither. Wesley says, I think looking at the code, it deciphers in tropical, so maybe intended for export. Yeah, could be. Christopher says, my ATA is not registered. Not. Oh. Don't know what's happening then, Christopher. Let's have a look. Is it on here? It's all on here. So you may be having internet issues or something. Because it's all on at this end. where it says ATT, automatic table telephone, tropical finish. There you go then. I've learnt something on that one. I really have. I've never ever seen one like it before. It says it looks like gauze underneath the holes in the base too. Does it? Let's have a look. Well, the holes certainly plugged, aren't they? It's very strange, that is, isn't it? It is very strange. Like they say, it is certainly not a looker, that one. But what is it? Somebody's put a bid on it anyway. Is it one of you lot? It's located in Plymouth. Is there anything in the description about it? Good condition is shown. There are a few light scratches but nothing serious. Works in that you can ring out and ring in. I'm not sure what the purpose of the little white button is. It might be a on hold button, but it didn't work when I tried it. So it might be for something else. Please see all the pictures, they form part of the description. Please see my other items. Will always combine postage where possible. Retro Collectibles Southwest. I have no idea. I have no idea what that is at all. It's anybody's guess what that is. Absolutely anybody's guess. Could be anything. It's not been on there long though, has it? Because it's got 6 days and 23 hours to go at the minute. So it's probably been on there less than an hour or so. So yeah. If anybody knows any more about it, let us know. Get in touch, let us know. Right, I think that about wraps it up for today, and another issue of Andy's Shed Live sort of bites the dust. As I said earlier, we will be back on Christmas Eve around about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, with another very special show. Our traditional oddball Christmas show that nearly always goes wrong. So we'll see. Oh, he's just got it in under the wire. Ask Christopher. Let's see if he's actually on this time. Just bear with us, I say. Hello, Christopher. Are you there?
Is it working this time round?
It's working. Yeah, I can hear you this time.
I went weird with my ATA things. I just factory reset it and put the settings back again.
All right. No, you're definitely coming in loud and clear this time, Christopher. Louder than Michael was, anyway. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because I'm using an electronic transmitter in my Diacon phone.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Michael was a bit quiet. I think he's been a bit quiet before, though. I think he may be something to do with his computer. Depends what he's talking to us on. What are you talking to us on?
I'm calling from that yellow phone you showed on this stream earlier, my Ericsson N1900866 phone.
Right. But you put an electronic transmitter.
Yep, I got the original one. It's next to the phone on the bench. I just put the electronic one in to give it more transmission power.
Yeah. Good idea. And it's certainly a very unusual one. That I've never seen a yellow one before.
Yeah, this is rare, this one as well, and it's never been messed with either.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it has.
The only thing what did look not right with this phone is the way it was wired on the inside, but the dial was not connected up and nothing like that was connected. I had to rewire the whole phone.
Yeah. Maybe somebody had a go and realised they couldn't do it.
So I just wired it up and it worked, and then there's nothing wrong with it except for the bell. I got the original bell coils for this phone, but I had put one from a 746 in this to make it ring because the bell coils wouldn't ring.
Right.
But I'm not throwing them away though because they're the original coils from the phones. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm going to leave until I can get them working again.
Yeah. I wonder if they were faulty coils. Have you done a continuity test of the coils?
Yeah, if I knew where my multimeter was, I would.
Yeah. Right. Oh, you've not found it since the move.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me about 2 weeks to find my model trams after I couldn't find them for a while until I just found them last night.
Right. How far have you moved, by the way? Somebody's asked earlier.
I moved from South Melbourne in Melbourne to Collingwood in Melbourne, so only about 2 kilometres away from South Melbourne.
Right. So you've not like moved to another town or anything like that. You're still in Melbourne.
New town, but in the same state.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
on the outer suburbs, on the east side of. No, hang on. Is Collingwood east or the west of Melbourne, Mum? It's not listening anyway, but I think it's the east side of Melbourne.
Yeah. Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Land of neighbours and all that.
Yeah.
Is that Melbourne neighbours? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it is Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, then we did the Iron being served, Australian Iron being, so that was filmed in Melbourne as well. I'd found out recently.
What's it?
Yeah, the spin-off of Iron being served, it was filmed in Australia. That was done in Melbourne. So I saw one of the videos. They showed a scene with Mr. Humphries walking through Melbourne with the W's going past.
All right.
So that's how I clicked it was Melbourne.
Yeah. Right. It's a while ago now. That is.
Yeah, I just registered up one of my lines on my 8. I've got to do line 1 again on my 8, and then it'll be up and running again.
Yeah, excellent.
But I have noticed, for some weird reason with my ATA, when I speak into my trainer in a particular way, it actually activates the DTMF digits on the dialing for some reason.
Yeah, I've just heard that. Yeah, I just heard a little beep here and there.
Yeah.
Don't seem to be doing it now though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no clue.
I don't know what was going on earlier with my AT. I could hear you answering the phone, and it would cut out, no sound and no speech go through, and then it would hang up the line and clear again.
Yeah.
It even did on 290 as well. When I dialed your number 290, it did that.
Yeah, they're odd. These ATAs are odd. They seem to get confused, for want of a better word, and you have to switch them off and switch them on again.
Well, I did have my ATA off for about 3 weeks before I got my line resetting it, and I knew I had a copy because of that got changed. That's why it wasn't working right.
Yeah, it might have had to sort of work out where it was and stuff like that.
Yeah. And as your end went down as well, probably lost its memory, so I had to recode it, so it's just recoding it now.
Yeah. I don't know quite what happened at this end, because it just went off one day. And again, I turned it off and turned it on again, and it came back up and okay, so I'm not entirely sure what happened.
It's a similar thing with my internet modem. When I moved out, before I moved house, my internet modem worked with pole-style telephones, my VoIP line. I've got the same modem I had in my previous, and I would kick to this line in this house. It doesn't work with any rotary phone I have. Like it used to work with any phone I had. It doesn't work with any of my phones now on the dialing.
Is it? When you say it's the same modem you've got now?
Yeah, same one I had in the previous house. But for some reason, with the new weather, when it got set up again, it doesn't work with group disconnect.
Is it the actual same modem or the same model of modem?
Same modem I had from my old place for this house, like with me connected to the line. It doesn't seem to work with pulse dialing telephones.
Right. Well.
But it doesn't bother me anyway, because I've got a PBX in line with it now.
Yeah, well, I would have thought it would have worked, because if you plug it into the modem, which you are, aren't you?
Yes.
If you're plugging your phone into the modem, what's different? Because the modem should be converting it.
Yeah.
Because you're effectively sending out all your calls over VoIP, aren't you?
Yes.
unless we're switching it off and switching it on again in the move, unless the firmware in the modem is updated.
Yeah, I know when I got it set up in here, they had to have the technicians set the settings for me. It could be a setting in the thing got changed. It doesn't work with Pulse phones.
Yeah.
I'm using a PBS, doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, it's strange that, but like you say, run through a PBX and it makes no difference anyway because the PBX changes it.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I do. It all runs through a BT Revelation here. So everything goes out actually with tones on it. But it means all the old phones work sort of here internally. Where you do get caught out with it is when you ring up your bank or something like that and it says press star on your telephone and I think my telephone hasn't got a star on it.
Yeah, I called the bank off my new iPhone anyway. I've only had my iPhone about 2 weeks when I dropped it on the floor. They haven't cracked the glass on my new phone as well.
Oh no!
It still works though. It still works. The LCD screen works, but they said they crack on the glass.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't seem very rugged, do they? They seem to break quite easily.
The glass shatters quite easy, but the LCD screen seems to never get damaged when the glass gets shattered on the phone for some reason. I've had that with my other iPhone. I had it for quite a while.
Yeah. iPhones seem to be bad for getting broken glass. I know I'll go as far as to say I don't know anybody with an iPhone that's not got a crack on the screen.
Yeah, but this one I've got here is not one of the latest model iPhones. It's actually one of the older models. I've got one brand new old stock on clearance sale in the post office the other day in South Melbourne. So I got the cheap one. I didn't pay. I was going to buy an iPhone, the modern iPhone, but they're over $1,000 for one of those phones.
Yeah.
But this one I got for about $400.
Yeah, I don't do iPhones. I always had Blackberries here. Did you have Blackberries in Australia? Did
no idea.
Australia? I always used to have Blackberries, and then when they stopped making Blackberries, we started with this thing, which was actually a Kickstarter. It's a thing called the Unihertz Titan. It was a Kickstarter project.
Yeah.
And it's really good. This, but it is very, very heavy. If you drop this on your toe, you'll break your foot.
Yes.
But it is really good. And it doesn't get hot like the Blackberries used to. Because I was saying earlier about the live streams at Christmas and that we've had problems with. Part of the problem was that when I was doing it off a phone, the phone got hot and then shut itself down. But this doesn't get hot. It must have got a better processor in it. My
iPhone does what your old phone used to do. Now you had that older phone of your mobile phone which is overheat all the time. That's what my iPhone 7 does. It overheats every time, and it's a brand new phone as well.
Yeah, they just shouldn't do it, should they? It should be designed better than that.
Yeah, but as it's been sitting around the post office for over 5 years, it's probably why it's overheat, because it's not a brand new phone. So a brand new phone that was a brand new old stock.
Yeah, but if it's just been sat there 5 years, it still shouldn't overheat because it's still effectively a new phone.
Yeah.
It's just a 5-year-old new phone that's like been sat in the shop for 5 years. But it should still be okay. The only thing that might be a bit questionable about it would be the battery. If the battery's been sat, not been used for 5 years.
Yeah.
But the rest of the phone, it should behave itself, and particularly Apple stuff that is all designed by them, and they don't let anybody else design anything for them, and it's all in house and that. They should be able to get it right.
Yeah, the only thing was a bit iffy about this phone was they said on the thing in the post it was a locked phone for Telstra customers only. But when I put my mum's Vodafone SIM in my phone to give it a test, actually worked on a Vodafone signal, and it said on the details it's only locked for Telstra customers only. This small one, it's not exactly like it explains on the information.
Yeah, I think they're often unlocked these days. There used to be a phone shop here. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Phones for You. And this shop, we've got basically 4 networks here for mobile, and everything was always locked to whatever network you got it on. So a phone was locked to a network. So if you sold the phone to somebody else or you gave it to somebody else, they could only use it on the original network that you'd had it on. But I once went into this Phones for You shop and discovered quite by accident that all the shops sold in Phones for You were all the phones sold in Phones for You were unlocked. And I asked them about this, and they said the reason is because there's 4 networks in the UK.
Yes.
If we had locked phones, we would have to carry 4 times the amount of inventory.
Yes.
So they said we make it a requirement that all the phones that we sell are unlocked. We go to Vodafone and to EE and whoever else and say, look, we will sell phones for you guys, but they have to be unlocked. Because we don't want to carry that crazy amount of stock. So
talking about not really bought any telephones for a while. The only telephones I've got are 2 old 1990 Telecom Telstra touch phone wall phones I got for free a couple of months ago before I moved from my old place.
Yeah.
Because someone was throwing away 2 of these phones and they let me have it for free, so I just grabbed these 2 phones for free off the thing that was still working as well.
Very good.
And a few old incandescent light bulbs that were thrown away. They threw about 2 boxes away of brand new incandescent light bulbs, brand new boxes of what they don't even make anymore, and they're throwing out rare light bulbs as well, and I got them for free as well.
Yeah, well, light bulbs are really hard to get now here. Proper incandescent light bulbs. Because we use them, as I guess you guys do over there, to make dim bulb testers out of them.
Yeah, and they don't even sell incandescent light bulbs over here. Well, they're being banned by the Labour Party in this country as well.
Yeah, well, they've been banned over here as well, except for very, very low wattage ones, which are incredibly dim. You certainly can't. You used to be able to get 150 watt incandescent light bulbs here, and you certainly can't get them anymore.
Now, the funny thing was, they said that they're not allowed to sell the regular light bulbs or above 30 watts. The funny thing is, they sell these 25 watt incandescent light bulbs in these stores. They're bloody tiny ones that go in the microwaves, right? But they don't sell, and it's all on eBay. You can buy these normal house ones that are 25. But I don't know why they allow the small market. They don't actually allow the 25 watt regular household ones still.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. The answer is to have a light fitted with about 10 bulbs in it.
Yeah, I've actually picked up 2 original looking 1940s pull chain lights recently as well.
Oh right.
For free, and they work. But